Hi everybody, welcome to another Chats with Children. Today I am delighted to be joined by Oxford Global's Elena Nichol, who is the conference producer for the Biologics Series 2023. And I was actually the Biologics Series UK yesterday at the Hammersmith Novotel, and it was a great event. So Elena unfortunately couldn't be there. I didn't get a chance to catch up with her. So we're doing it now rather than before the event to find out a bit more about the series and also see how this year's event went so far. But she's got some numbers, I understand, that we can share. So first of all, Elena, lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, Rizwan. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So first question is, as I said, you're the conference producer, so what's your responsibility in terms of the series?
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite self-explanatory. I produce the conferences, so this includes gathering all the speakers together, picking out topics, panel discussions, kind of just laying out the whole agenda for the day and making sure everything goes according to plan and fits well with what our consumers, what the audience really want.
Fantastic. All right. Well, look, so obviously it's called the Biologics Series, and that might sound obvious in terms of what the content is, but what sort of content does it cover in the first place, and who are the sort of people that you target for that particular event?
Yeah, sure. So our Biologics UK Congress actually includes two separate Congress programs, which are our Proteins, Antibodies and Bispecifics Congress and our Peptides and Oligonucleotides Congress. So this year will be our 16th installment of the Proteins and Antibody Congress and our 10th annual Peptides and Oligonucleotides Congress. This is one of our flagship events as well and has really grown over the past couple of years from originally a very antibody engineering focused event, and now we're covering various molecular engineering approaches from AI/ML guided computational engineering through to novel biologics discovery, peptide CMC, oligo and RNA therapeutic strategies, as well as sustainability approaches, which is something newer we're looking at. We've got around 300 attendees on site, if not more, with expertise in all of these areas and more, all coming from top pharma and biotech companies, as well as some leading academic institutions. So it's a pretty busy few days for everyone.
Yeah, well, it's carrying on today, obviously, but I'm not there today, unfortunately. Now, one of the things I was there yesterday, and it was very busy actually. And if people haven't seen what it's like, I've done a show walkthrough that you can check the link, which I'll put in this video actually when it goes live, so you can see what the show's like. But you've got a lot of things going on. So, what are the different things that you have set up, or you do set up for delegates at your events?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose one of the main features of our events are all the presentations. Specifically, we have over 80 presentations happening in these last 2 days. And across all these different topic areas, so you're pretty spoiled for choice when it comes to all the presentations. We've also got around 15 interactive sessions for everyone to get involved with. So these would include roundtable discussions and panel sessions, which can be a bit more informal, get the audience involved sort of things. These are pretty fun to set up and watch as well, because you get to see everyone start interacting with each other to really discuss all the issues they're facing, and it's quite fun. I think for day 2, which is today, we've still got a few workshops coming up, so we can cover topics such as the integration of data for AI, ML, and structural modeling. We've got a workshop on T-cell engager biology and therapeutic strategies, as well as one on developments in oral peptide delivery. And all of these sort of topics that we come up with for panels and interactive sessions have been selected based on feedback from previous advisory boards, featuring many past speakers and other key opinion leaders from the industry.
Right. And this year, for this year's event, the UK event, who are your keynote speakers, or who have you had?
Yeah, so we've got quite a variety of speakers. Yesterday, our event was kicked off by an opening keynote address by Dan Snell, the Vice President of Translational Sciences at NewMad Therapeutics. He'll actually be returning again to speak at the end of day 2, so the end of today, to talk more about NewMad's T-cell engagers. Whereas today we kind of heard from a different perspective from Mahendra Dinarain, CEO of Nichol Biopharma, who spoke a bit more about developing ADCs for solid tumors. This is sort of an area which is really taking up a lot of space now due to recent ADC approvals, which we've seen in the industry over the past year. But aside from that, we've had a few speakers from all over, primarily industry speakers though, with a mix of academics in there as well.
Right. Now, one thing I didn't ask you when we kicked off this interview was that obviously we're talking about Biologics 2023 in the UK, but it is part of a series. So what are the other events which are part of the series?
Yeah, so this event kicks off the 2023 version, but we've also got an online event happening in June, which is our Antibody Engineering Online Symposium. That's a 2-day symposium at the end of June, basically covering anything you want with antibody engineering. And the great thing about an online symposium is you can get a lot of perspectives from all over the globe. Our other 2 events in the Biologics series this year will be our Vaccines EU Congress and our Oligonucleotides EU Congress. These are actually being co-located in September in Berlin, and they're also co-located with our RNA Therapeutics Congress, which is part of our formulation series. And that's all happening together in September.
Right. Now, when I was at the event yesterday, I did see that you had like a demo zone and you had various other things going on. So apart from the talks, what other activities do you have to engage delegates, not just to network, but also to engage with the sponsors and exhibitors?
Yeah, so as with all of our in-person events, while there's plenty of dedicated networking breaks, these can be around an hour long, usually split about 3 times throughout the day. These are great times to check out all of the exhibitor booths and find out more about all the solutions and services currently available to accelerate drug development processes. I think at this event, there's over 45 exhibitor booths to pick from, so there's a lot going on, which is probably what you see in the exhibition hall yesterday was very, very full. We have also hosted our customary drinks reception at the end of both the pre-event day and day 1 of the event, which is always well received. New for this year, though, was our Plus Pass networking dinner, which happened at the end of day 1, exclusive for members of our Biologics Series Plus community. This is a really fantastic opportunity to just relax after a long day of presentations and meet up with fellow experts in the field over a 3-course meal that we provide complimentary to those attending that dinner.
Right. And you also do, as I found out yesterday, and the exhibitors were very happy about this actually, sort of you make the appointments for many of the exhibitors, and they even said that what they were really impressed about was that you had people chasing people who had not turned up for the appointments to say, hey, you've got a meeting with this company, you haven't gone there yet, can you come and join them? Which was actually quite impressive. So is that something you do at all your events, or is it just particularly for this one that you were really helping out the exhibitors?
No, we do this at all our events. One of our standout features is that we do facilitate these one-to-one meetings with our exhibitors. These tend to be pre-arranged ahead of the event.
Right.
And attendees may get requested to come and have a talk with some of our sponsors during the networking breaks. These will be then scheduled in, and they should know the timings, but we always like to make sure that these happen. Everyone's kind of going where they need to go, or if they're looking a little bit lost, helping them out there as well. There's, as I said, there's a lot of booths, so it's very easy to get a bit turned around. And
yeah, well, no, it's funny because I was wondering why I saw so many Oxford Global staff with tablets in their hands, and I realised that was their list of people they were making sure were going to different meetings. So that was good. That's good. And also, I saw obviously you had quite a few posters up as well, and so on. And you also had a spotlight zone, didn't you, where people could actually talk.
Yeah, so this is sort of a new thing we're trying out this year, our Innovation Spotlight Theatre. So some of our sponsor companies may book to have a company spotlight session or a poster presentation session over there, which is where they can either show off maybe some technology, give some demos of the tech they're showing off at the event, or they might have a poster they want to talk through very briefly, and anyone can go along and watch these and check out what's on offer, basically.
Great. Now, you mentioned in passing your Plus Pass members. So let's talk about that. So what is the Plus Pass membership?
Yeah, sure. So the Plus Pass is basically an annual membership program designed to help all of the life science professionals to overcome scientific challenges by providing access to high-level information, events, and key experts in the field so they can reach their research goals faster. We've built a platform where all of this is housed and available 24/7, as well as exclusive member-only content such as monthly discussion groups, live guest presentations, and much, much more. If anyone's still on site today and would be interested in this, we have account managers on site for more info, or they can get hold of them via email or through our website.
Fantastic. Now, all the dates and details of the other events are also on that link, aren't they, with the Plus Pass membership? Because you have a hub basically set up where you've got all the Biologics series all together.
For all of our event series, we have a content portal, which is where, as well as showing off the upcoming events in the series and all the dates and locations of these, you can also see all of the different content that our editorial team are posting. So these will be things like industry spotlights, looking at the kind of key things that are coming up in the industry at this time, or they might be interviews that we conduct with different members of the field as well.
Brilliant. One final question in terms of the digital element. I know you talked about the hub, but when the show is actually running live, when inside the virtual symposium, which obviously is all virtual, so they're slightly different, but the in-person event, do you have a digital element to that, or do you record the talk so people can actually access it after the event?
We don't have a digital element as such. I think the only digital element remaining now after the pandemic would be our use of Slido. So you can type in questions and they'll appear on the screen rather than having to go to a microphone, which some people do find works better for them. Otherwise, we do record presentations when we have permission, and these can be available on our content portal, but are now only accessed if you have that Plus Pass membership.
Right. Final question then. So if someone hasn't signed up for any of the Biologics series, obviously it's a bit late to go to the one today, but for the future ones, why should they sign up for the Biologics series?
Well, if you're interested in anything to do with biologics at all, then our events are the perfect place to come and find out more, or even come and present some of your work. They're great for networking, meeting people who may be old friends in the field, meeting new friends in the field, as well as just learning more about what everyone else is doing. It's really informative to kind of hear how different people are applying the same techniques, or maybe using the same modalities in different ways. And I think we can all learn from each other and really accelerate the field then. And that's basically the main goal for everyone, is to try and improve life science care.
Fantastic. Well, look, Elena, well done. Thank you for sharing that information. It was really interesting. And there you go, viewers. If you would like to know more about the Biologics series, then check out the link above this video, which will take you to the hub where you can learn about all the other events that Elena mentioned, but also learn more about how to sign up for the pass as well if you want to do that. And if you've got any questions for Elena based on what we talked about today, then feel free to put them in the comments below. So, Elena, thank you. Good luck with producing the rest of the series this year. I asked this to one of your colleagues from one of your other series. So I know you've got these other series already planned. Are you still accepting calls for papers and presentations for the series?
Yeah, I believe our Vaccines and Oligo Congress that's happening in September might still have a few spaces available, but otherwise we'll also be getting ready for our 2024 series soon. So potentially keep an eye out for that.
All right, cool. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. Viewers, I hope you found that interesting. Genuinely, I was at the Biologics series yesterday in London, and it was busy, and everyone I spoke to was very, very happy with the event. So that can only say one thing, and that's not me saying it, that's what exhibitors and delegates have been saying, so that's great. Check out the link, and until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.